Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Rodriguez. Yes. And I want to say thank you to all the subscribers that have subscribed to the channel, guys. I can't thank you enough. It's a blessing. Thank you, YouTube family. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing. But this channel do not run without subscribers, guys. And today I want to talk about something briefly. It's called self-control. Self-control is the #1 goal of life, you know what I mean? And when I say the #1 goal of life, is because I picture life like this. And it's simple. You ain't got to be a child of God. You ain't got to be in love with God. I know it ain't for everybody, right? But know how to treat your people. You know what I'm saying? Know how to carry yourself in love and come in love and leave in love, right? And in life, we got to understand we can't let people characters dictate our lives. You know, they're out of character, their disrespect, you know, things of that nature dictate our lives. You know, as a child of God, you know, I don't move off that type of stuff. Even when I was in the streets, I didn't move off of that. I move off action, right? So it's like actions, you know what I'm saying, is an adrenaline rush for me, you know what I mean? That gets my blood pumping. But this, no self-control, it sounds like a woman to me, you know what I mean? It sounds like, if it's a male, that sounds like a woman act, you know what I mean? That's what women do, you know. They do a lot of talking, things of that nature, with their mouths and things of that nature. So as men, you know what I'm saying, we got to have more self-control, you know what I mean? I don't care how old you is, you know what I'm saying? If you are an adult and you carry yourself as an adult, you know what I mean? You got a job, you're working, things of that nature, you're an adult at this point, you know what I mean? And there's no justice for your misconduct of no self-control, you know. Well, you gotta act out, you gotta get out of character for no apparent reason, just to try to show yourself that to prove to yourself that you about it, or you got some buck in your system. That's not a good act. It's not really a good look, you know what I mean? So I want us to always keep in mind in life that we gotta go in this life and carry ourselves with self-control, male or female, you know what I'm saying? King bosses or queen bosses, you know what I mean? We got to carry ourselves with some kind of self-respect, self-control. And we got to know that, okay, when somebody's getting out of line and talking, you know what I'm saying, not letting it get you out of character, you know, because those are acts in our lives. And once you evaluate it and discern, you know, you kind of feel not sorry, but you feel like out of all the things that's going through your life, after I discern what I see through what I see, you have a nerve to act out. You want to be out of character. You want to be disrespectful. You should be doing some inner growing within yourself to better yourself so you can get better in life, right? But that's not the focus, because people don't want to focus on bettering themselves. They don't want to focus on being great, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to work on that inner self, you know. But I want us to keep in mind that self-control is everything, guys. Self-control is everything. And in life, we're just not going in life nowadays, 2025, man, where we just out of character, man, you know what I'm saying? Bucket, you know what I mean, on 10 for no reason, you know. It's pointless, you know what I'm saying? Especially when there's situations that you encounter that it's really not even something to act out over, you know. So it's like, I just want to say to people, you know what I'm saying, throughout the world, you know, we got to grow and understand we can't let other people dictate our lifestyles, you know what I mean? And be mindful of the information that's given. You always keep that information. You know what I'm saying? Like I said once before, it's like boxing. I want to know what my opponent is and what I'm up against, you know? And self-control, you know, keep self-control. You know, we don't move off of nothing but action, you know what I mean? So action is, you know what I mean, not words, you know. Words don't do that. You could call a person, man, you know, everything under the sun but a child of God, but that should not offend you. That should not, you know, make you get out of character, you know what I'm saying? Be unbothered, you know what I mean? Be unbothered. Have a no care spirit to that, you know what I mean? Don't speak today. Fine. don't like what a person got on, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Don't like, oh man, you need to do something to your hair, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to get your hair done. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? This is my hair. It's on my body. You know what I mean? So it's like little simple things like that, man. You know, that don't let it, you know, get the best of you. You know what I'm saying? You should paint your car this color. It's my car. I'm gonna paint the color I want to paint. You know what I'm saying? But people gonna always be in your business, man. You know what I'm saying? People always, you know, don't have that self-control to where they so focused on their lifestyle. They want to run your lifestyle and theirs. They want to control, you know what I'm saying? So it's a two-way street, you know what I'm saying? No, only control what you can control, you know what I'm saying? And that's controlling your self-control without being, you know what I mean, a fool, you know what I mean, by acting out and making yourself look like you missed a hot shot, you know what I mean, or something like that. That don't amaze nobody, you know. It ain't never made me. Even in the streets, I see something like that right there, man. I'm like, oh man, you know, that person there, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna last long, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna last long, you know. So it's like the one that has self-control, like myself, you last, man. You know what I mean? And you carry that in the world, you know, and you see that in the world, you know what I mean? I carry that in workplaces and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? When you see me, you wouldn't be able to dictate the identity, you know what I'm saying, of me, because it's like it's always genuine, it's always love, you know. It's always self-control, you know, because that's how I carry myself. But people want to push that button. As a Christian, they want to push that button, you know what I mean? They want to poke the lion to make him roar, you know what I mean? That never happens when you got self-control, you know what I mean? It's certain things that make that lion roar, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know that, but it's the key word is action, you know, and that's gonna always be the key. And there's some other traits that go with that as well to activate it. But for the most part, this no. You know, we don't get no action off of that. But self-control is everything, and we just gotta carry in life and know that, hey, we can't let others evil, wicked spirit, you know what I'm saying, try to come up against the happy spirit, you know what I mean, and try to take the joy. We remain with the joy, you know what I mean. It's not rented, you know what I mean. It was given, you know what I mean, by Jesus Christ. You want your son, you got to get with Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying. So this spirit here of happiness and joy, you know, you can't tap in, you know what I mean. I got control of this, you know what I mean, and you do hold control of that. And when I say control, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, how you gonna be in control of your child of God? I gotta control the spirit within me, you know what I mean, from acting out on certain areas. So I do have self-control, and that self-control is within, you know what I mean, and I activate that on a day-to-day basis. And I just want to share that with each and every one of y'all today, that we got to activate self-control on a day-to-day basis, you know, with the full body armor. After I put that on and spend some time with Jesus Christ, there's nothing else in this world that, you know, that I really care less about, you know what I mean. And that's what you got to have in this life, you know, because that's how God has ordained us to be courageous. You know, he ordained us to be some real warriors out here, you know, and they're going to offend a lot of spirits, you know. It don't matter if they got high, you know, it don't matter if they got way more money than you. Why you had to say money, or they may have a better position than you, they may have a better life than you, so they say. It don't matter. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, it's happy, joy. That's what they really want, you know what I'm saying? So they'll try anything and everything to try to get this out of character, you know. But it's like, that's one thing that you'll always fail at, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you that now, you know, because I've been on this journey a long time. So, and I've been through a lot of things and seen a lot of things like Paul in the Bible, you know what I mean? To compare myself, you know what I'm saying, I would go with Paul, you know what I mean? Because Paul was a G, and Paul seen some things, and Rodriguez did seen some things. So it's gonna be kind of hard to do that, you know what I mean? But we gotta have self-control. Until next time, God bless y'all. Self-control.